All right, well, let me go ahead and continue with the video. I kind of abruptly stopped on the last one. So we'll pick up where we left off. We were talking about playlists. So in the playlist section, we were talking about how you could drop in your video by dragging and dropping it into the specific area where you want it. That's a nice way to do it if you don't want to have the file in a certain area. You can just move it and drag it as needed. So I'm going to go ahead and drop in this video here at the end, and you can see there it shows up that video that we just imported right at the very end. And now if we go to the left hand side of the dashboard, you'll see here we have the layout section. So the layout section, let's go ahead and save this first. The layout section is exactly what it is, what it sounds like. It is it's predefined layouts that you configure so that you can just go back and modify, kind of like a template. Once you set up your layout, you could just go right back to it and then modify just a specific area by just replacing the content in the layout. And the layout is where we're going to modify the, for the purpose of the schedulers. That's where we'll modify the actual document within the layout. So the way you do that is, earlier we put our media for the documents into this folder, in the document folder. So now that we have those files in there in the layout section, if we were to just click on the appropriate file that you want, in this case we're going to modify the schedule with background, you just click on it. Once you click on the appropriate area, you'll see there's an area on the right hand side that says replace. You just click on that, and now you'll have a list of all the different files that you could put into that particular pane that you're modifying. So here you see that there's media that shows everything, but image file will allow you to put just a picture. So that's fine if you wanted to replace, say, a file with, instead of a PDF, you could put an image of a PDF instead, a picture of it, like a snip file as an example. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this here and show you how to modify it with an actual file. We'll go replace again, back to media, and we'll do insert on this, and specify the file. You see the little icons here, how they show at the top. These are all graphic images, so we don't want to do that. We want to put an actual file in there. Let's go back to here, and we'll do insert. And once you do insert, you could click on the type of file that you want to modify. So here we'll select document, and now you have the option to add a document. So here on the list, we just pick the file that we want, and we'll just click on the type of file. We'll do a PDF file as an example, and you see the drag and drop. It uses the same methodology as we did before when we were dropping in media. So we'll just go back to our file manager at the bottom. I'll open that up. Our files are all kept right now in the download section, just for easy access. So you just grab the file and you just drag it over. Make sure you have the right file type though, otherwise it won't work. So I'll just grab the PDF and move it over into that box. Then you click upload. Now that you've done that, it wants to ask the destination folder. I don't know why it asks you this, because it's not like you can modify it. So we'll just go ahead and just say save on that. And it gives you the little box that you can modify by changing the size. Now you see how it's on top of the other document? That is because the original document was still underneath it, the picture. We'll go ahead and just click on that and hit the delete button, and now it's gone. So now we click back onto the file that's represented by this icon here. And you see the box around here, you just kind of resize this, kind of get it to the weight until those little black boxes disappear. And then you'll lock the aspect ratio so that you can increase the size of your box. And this will determine how big it's going to appear on the screen. So you just kind of move it around a little bit I like to go in the corners and then drag it into place. It looks a little nicer too if you don't make it full screen. I kind of like having a background image. Since these are 70-inch displays, having the schedule that's, you know, full screen is really not necessary. So just kind of in the center with a nice background looks good. So we click on that, and now we hit the preview button at the top, and it's going to show us what it looks like. So based upon the file type and how well it was formatted, will determine how it's going to look on the screen. So this file here was the original file that we had. It was just kind of formatted in, I think, Excel, and you see how you have a white border around it. You can eliminate that border by using it as a picture, as we talked about before. It's pretty easy. You just go to the file and modify that. Let's go ahead and do that so you can see how that looks. So I'm going to open that original file where it was found in my download section, and we'll open it up, and it is this file here, and I'll move it over to the appropriate screen and resize it. Make it a little smaller so we could work with this on the screen. And now I'm going to use the snipping tool. So now the snip, you just go down there. You can either type it, search, and do it, or you can just click on the link. I'll just click on it there and just hit new. And you just draw a box around the area that you're wanting to capture. So we'll just draw a box. And now it's been saved there in your clipboard. So now you have access to that file, and we can go ahead and save this to where we need it. By default, it saves it in your picture folder. I'm going to show the save as to kind of show you where it's sticking mine. It's put it into this folder here. And that's good. I'm just going to give it a quick name. This is class schedule, and I think it's 11/27/24. All right. Okay, so now that we have that, we'll go ahead and minimize this and minimize this. And we're going to click on this, and we're going to remove this item, and we'll hit the insert button. This time it's going to be an image, and it's going to say image file. I'm going to pull that in, go to the path of where you save that image, get my file manager back up, and that's going to be under pictures and under desktop. Where'd it go? Oh, that's the wrong one. Wrong picture folder. There we go. Oh, I clicked on it, double clicked on it, now it's opening in my browser. Don't want that. Okay, so now that I have this file, I can dump it in there and upload it. Now you notice here in the upper right hand corner, it's moving the file in, and now there's the image. So remember that lock aspect ratio is important. Want that around it. And now you can resize it and get it in there. Kind of remove those white borders. Now, in this example, you know, we kind of see that sometimes things are cut off a little bit, so that just means that the clip that I did wasn't that great. That's why it looks like that at the bottom, but you get the idea of how it works to get the files in there into the layout as an image. Once you hit save, it's going to replace the existing image with it, so I'm not going to do that because I don't want to mess up that template. So let's do it without messing up the original one, and we'll make a backup of the file, and then we can actually save it. So I'm going to cancel this for now. And I'm going to go ahead and right click. Actually, if you click on it, no, don't click on it. On the right hand side, you see where it says action. You go ahead and select that, then you can say duplicate. Now when you duplicate that, now it has the name, and I'm going to just put it on the end on this test, so we know it's our test file. All right. And it should appear on here as a test. Okay, there it is. All right. Put the D back in there. Okay, so now we'll move the original image by just selecting it, hitting delete on the keyboard, hit the insert button, and then go to image. And then you specify your file. This is the file that we last had in there. I don't think that's the right one. Could try it, see if it works. Yep, that is it. And we'll resize it. Now you see what happens there? That is because that aspect ratio has not been locked yet. So let's make sure we get it where it fits right. Yep, so now I'm going to lock the aspect ratio. Now I could shrink it down so it fits in there correctly. There we go. Just kind of play with that a little bit. We'll uncheck that again and see if we can get this to go a little better. There we go. And we can shrink it down a little bit. Oops, forgot to lock the aspect ratio. It's kind of tricky at first. Gonna have to play with it. I'm making it really big so I could make sure everything fits on the screen, and once it fits on the screen, then I'm going to lock that aspect ratio. There we go. Okay, so now it fits on the screen. So now if we save this, forgot the end there. Okay, so now if we save, we'll see that that file should update here. And if we hit the preview, we can see what it actually looks like. And there it is. So we kind of did a little trick there by just taking a PDF that was not exactly the way that we wanted it to look originally, because it had a white border around it. And we just went and used a clip tool and snipped it and extracted the exact item that we wanted, saved it as a file, and then imported it. Instead of using it as a PDF, we imported it as an image. And once you did that, we were able to scale it and get it to fit in that pane. All right, so now that we've done that, we can go ahead and close this. We can go down to the next item, and that is schedules. Okay, so the way that schedules work is the monitors, they can play a predefined image or a playlist or even a layout if you in a schedule. And what you do is you define a schedule, and we've already done all those for you, so you really don't have to do much. And basically what happens is once you define the particular schedule that you want for the specific monitor, now it's just a matter of going and modifying the image inside of the layout or the playlist. And then since it's already in a schedule, it will automatically bring in the appropriate image based on the schedule that you created. So I'll show you the schedule that we created here. It's we have this full screen layout that shows what time it turned off. You can see here it looks like it turns off at 9 o'clock. Actually, these are the predefined ones now that I think about it. we're not really using the schedules now that I remember it on your site. It's just a matter of turning off the monitors when you don't need them. We're waiting for some hardware that is going to allow you to be able to do that, so that what the schedule actually does is turn off the monitor for you, which is kind of cool. It's able to use the ARC connection on the HDMI port and then automatically turn itself on and off based on the time. So for now, until we get that hardware, which should be getting here next week, hopefully, which is the week of, let's see, what is that? Should be, yeah, like, I don't know why my schedule's not coming up. There we go. So it should be the week of the 19th, thereabouts. You should be seeing the hardware come in. So a couple days. But anyway, so that's something to look forward to have that automatically do that for you. Okay, so now let's go down to the monitor section. Okay, so hey, there's the little devices that I was talking about, these players that we're waiting for. So you see there, they give you some little players that you could utilize to connect to your monitors. And right now they have a promotion where they give them to you for free. So we ordered those up for you. Okay, so back to what we were talking about. On this list here, we have 3 monitors that appear, and you can see that on the left-hand side, it gives you the name of the monitor and then the status and then the type of player. So we're currently using the web player on the computer, which has a little small computer that we attach to the back of the monitor. And that little computer is really a Windows computer, and it has a web interface that runs through Chrome, and it's a plugin that brings in this ID. You see this little ID number. We associate a number to the player, so then it knows which image to play based on the ID that's been assigned to it. And the content, as you can see on the right hand side, for the left monitor, it's called the company information template. So if we click on that, we could actually see that template. And that template we played with earlier in the demo. So you kind of have an idea of what the file is by just selecting it. If we hit cancel, it'll take us back to that previous screen that, oh, actually it takes you back to the layout screen, I guess. So that's no big deal. Just click back on monitors again and brings you right back to the screen that we were at. And then if we look at the class information schedule one, if we were to select that, same thing, it brings you to that image. Now it's not showing the image that we created earlier because we told it not to use that file. It's using a different file name, and that's how it pushes that information in. So let me give you a little bit more detail on that. So if we click on the actual monitor, you can see here it says, all right, what is it that it's going to play? And it's right now playing a layout called scheduled with background. Now if we hit this little drop down here, this is where we modify. See, if we wanted to use that test one that we created, we would just pick that, and then it would bring in that test image. That's the way that you change what images. So you could have, let's say, one screen, you're like, look, I want this image to play at this time of day, and then later on I want it to play this one. Well, you can change that based on the schedule, or you could actually manually just go in there and put it in, and it will play the default content that you specify. So we're not going to modify that. We're going to leave it as is. And then once you hit save and push, it actually uploads that file up to the computer, and then it'll start playing that video for you. So that is all the features that you see here on the left-hand side. We kind of went down through that list. Some of these things are things that you're not really going to mess with on a daily basis. I was just kind of giving you an overview. So now let's go ahead and make another little video here for you to talk about what are the quick things that you need to do to just modify the document, because I kind of give you an overview of all the features and what the application does. And now we'll just talk about specifically what is it that you're going to do on a daily basis to use the software.